Okay, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Remember that the rule is that when an introduction to a song ends, all of you need to be in. I would like that to be a little bit more fluid with everybody so that you know what my expectations are. Okay? I just need to get the lights here real quick so that I can tell you what's going on. Okay, now, today we're going to be going on a scavenger hunt outside because if you couldn't tell already, if you took walks, and if I know a lot of you do exercises or run laps or drive around or ride a bike or something outside, then you can tell that the seasons are changing, and it's pretty soon going to be fall, and I have all my fall clothes on in preparation. Now let me tell you that when I say that the door is shut for wearing shorts and sleeveless shirts and short sleeve t-shirts, I mean that door is completely sealed shut for wearing them for the day in outdoor weather. Exercising may be another thing, but let's not worry about that. So, remember for Aries Clubus, I asked all of you to go outside and find a phenomenon or an observation that was very interesting to you, that represented the changing of the seasons in order to get into Aries season weather. I then did the same at the beginning of Gemini season, I think it was, where we went outside and we looked at springtime and what was going on with the grass green and the temperature warm and the gnats and everything outside. Now all of those bugs are gone. I'm so thankful, because if you know anything about me, I don't like going outside when there's annoying and probably scary bugs out there. In the summertime, we probably could have if I thought so, but especially in July, it probably would have been too hot. Now, we're going to be doing that, okay? We're going to be having our fall scavenger hunt. It's not officially fall time yet, but judging on the weather, it is the end wrap up to summer, Virgo season weather. So we're going to be doing something because I'm in high contact with the teachers that teach alongside me remotely, and I'm teaching with physical science teachers, and what they did at the very, very beginning is they had students go outside and try to find a phenomenon, and then do research about it and develop hypotheses and claims about the phenomenon. So that's what we're going to be doing, okay? And also what I want you to do is because I can't do this because I'm already recording off of it, but all of you need to have a phone handy so that you can take a picture of your phenomenon that you find. Now, if you're talking about the end of August, last month, one of the really, really neat things was the leaves that were brown and that were on the ground. It looked like fall time, and I looked at those, and it was the summertime, and it was like 100 degrees, and I was like, oh, I wish it could be fall time already. I'm sick and tired of summer. So you wonder why that woman in the Smile Squad skit said, I saw an orange leaf, it's fall. Well, that might have been due to dry leaves, that might have been due to water outage of leaves, diseased leaves, and the hot conditions, because at the very, very beginning of September, from the from the 1st through the 7th of September, it was a desert. And then we had all that rain, and then we had really beautiful weather. So, and the month of September is directly opposite of March. So while March is in like a lamb, and like a lion out like a lamb, September is the opposite. It starts out with it being summertime, then it gets into its spring, and then it gets into fall by the end of the month. And I call it reverse spring. Okay? So, see what you can observe. And I know that there are some, bonnet flowers out in the front that would be very, very interesting to look at that grow at this time of year specifically. Okay? So, I talked to you yesterday about the poem Bonnets in September. Remember, we had a little evening meeting and we looked at the lyrics of that poem. Okay, and we, kind of did a little song to it. So that's a good thing to have in mind, adding a little bit of Empanada in Spain to this month. Okay, so everybody, I need you all to get your sunshade sunglasses on. I'm going to go grab my jacket, okay, and get your phones and everything, and we'll head out. Just a second. Okay, everybody, now remember what you're looking for. You're looking for what? Exactly, yes, exactly. So look for something very, very interesting that could require some scientific research and insight. So when you make your observation, we do this in everyday life and you do it without even having to think about it. But don't do something basic. Do something kind of out of the ordinary that you come across. Okay? Exactly. Something unique. So, let's go. And if you need an idea of something, I can offer it to you at the very, very end if you're failing to come out with something. We're going to start in the backyard. We're going to work our way to the front, where we're going to be looking at those flowers that I was talking to you about. Okay, everybody, so remember what, as I said again, now, you have the whole yard, and there isn't really much for you to observe and find, because it's not yet autumn yet, but see what you can do and do the best that you can with what you have. Okay, so everybody, you can get started. I'll give you about, I'd say 10 to 15 minutes, and then we will regroup, and then we'll go that direction. Okay, so does that sound like a plan for everybody? Okay, wonderful. Everyone, get spread out, look for things, and I will be alongside, inspiring ideas for looking for something as well. And when you find it, take a picture of it. Are we finding something? That could, definitely, absolutely. Yeah, because that's a very, very interesting thing, to observe. So, definitely keep with that one, and maybe try to, you just don't, specifically root out something. Just look for something, or you can look for something else, and then you can have a choice, and then you can pick which one you like better. So, and I want to give this announcement to everybody. try not only looking for one thing, try to not only find one thing, but also find maybe a second thing at the very least. Okay, so that you have something else, so that you really taking the time into observing. You know, those are beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. Those are snowballs is what they're called. And you know, if you were to look at them in May, then they look absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they do look like flower snowballs. It's kind of fun to, take them off the leaf and then throw them around like snowballs. But I absolutely love them. So you're not going to find too many of those things, at this time of year, since things are kind of dying down, so, yeah, definitely keep that one. So, what are you specifically discovering about it? Yeah. Okay, yeah, because as you can see that, see that green color? They're kind of, getting old and graying and losing their color and their beauty, I guess you could say. So, yeah, definitely a good observation. That's another one as well. Yeah, why are the, why are leaves turning brown and things at the tips and, on the middle of the leaves? Okay, everybody, so I've given you some time. Now, what I want you to do is, every single person, actually, I hope that you can hear me. I've gathered you up in a group. Now, try not to just look on the ground and on the main medium surface level. Try to look up in the sky a little bit. Okay, so I might give you a little bit more time so that you can discover something, because the 15 minutes isn't up yet, and then we'll head to the front yard. Now, if you look, maybe that's just the sun shining down on the plant, but if you look up there, you can see, can you see a little bit of yellow on the plant over there? Okay, well that's the plant turning yellow because, well, it's almost going to be fall time, and you know that the colors in fall are yellow, green, orange of leaves. So, that could be something. What was it? Yeah, because you can see that. Oh, that's very interesting. Because there's basically no leaves on that plant. All the leaves have fallen down to the ground. Good one. Alright, everybody. The 15 minutes are up. Now we're going to be going to the front. You're probably going to find more to look at. Okay, and if it's possible, we might go up the street, but I highly doubt that we're going to do that. So, everybody, I want you to follow me. We're going to go through that side, and then we're going to go to the front. I think that there was quite a bit that all of you could try to find. Okay, so everybody is here, present. I want you to start looking, and if you feel like it, you can go up the street a little ways up to the intersection at the very least, and if you find something on the left and right, that's the extent of where you should go. And if you want to go down the street a little ways, halfway up the hill would be the limit. Just enough we can get a good glimpse of things, I'd say. But don't go too far. I want to be able to track you. You should all be back in about 15 minutes, just like we did. Everyone needs to be back by about, I'd say, 4:55. 4:55, starting now, everyone. Alright. Now, that was fun, wasn't it, everybody? So, here's what we're going to do. I need you all to pay attention. Because you are going to be writing down claims. So all you're going to be doing, bullet pointing claims. Okay, in a Google document, and I have, I just want you to share that with me when you're done with it. And my account is Curdy108827 at ndnola.k12.ia.us. That is my account. That is my email. So you're going to type that in, and then you're going to click the little share button. And you don't even have to send me a message. And I'm going to get it in my email. So, but before you go to the Google document and make the claims, you need to do some research into what your phenomenon is. And I know that there wasn't a whole lot. I think that there was more, definitely in the springtime, to be able to find. But, I just wanted to have you do the best that you could. We'll do this again as it gets further into fall. We'll kind of do it, seasonally, or, every 3 months or so. I don't really have anything else to say. So, I'm going to be talking about these definitions of terms. So, the definition of a phenomenon, or a phenomena, as you would say it, is something, it's very, very simple. Something scientific, observed in nature. That's all it is. And that leads to researching, then that leads to developing hypothesis, then it leads to experimenting, testing out the result, keep observing. Scientists are ongoing because science is a never-ending story, a never-ending process. Okay, science always changes. And I was wondering why that the teacher that I teach alongside didn't have them get into the textbook, the Pearson book. And her reasoning was that in order to think like a scientist, science is not about memorizing facts and details and recorded information. It is not about beliefs. It is about you being able to use the scientific method and think like a scientist, and discover it for yourselves. Okay, so, and I found that very, very legitimate and practical reasoning. So that is what a phenomenon is. So, you observed a phenomenon. And remember that observations, and I wish that I told you this prior, but you should have already known, is that observations isn't just using one sense, which is most obvious. So the word observations doesn't mean, and I'm going to talk about this word here, it doesn't just mean to see. observations are not just about what you see, they're what you smell, they're what they'll feel, they're what they'll tasting and hearing. Okay, so it's all of those senses. So, what natural sounds did you hear? Meaning, not the lawnmower that's going on over there. What things did you feel? Like, did you feel the leaves, or did you feel the grass, or something like that? What did you? I don't know about taste. You can't really taste anything. There's no edible flowers. And what did you smell outside? Which probably would have been nothing, but I'm sure that you came up with something really great. So, that is what an observation is, and that is what I wanted to clarify. So you have your phenomenon, you have your observation. Now, you need what is called a hypothesis. And a hypothesis is a scientific statement or a guess. So I'll just say a scientific guess based off of data or research that you collected from the beginning, from the phenomenon, from looking at the phenomenon of data, then on to the other things, then on to experimentation, which I think that experimentation using the hypothesis, testing it out, recording your data, all of those things. And then a claim, which doesn't even, which kind of goes with hypothesis, is stating something that, after you have done your research. So it's a little bit different than hypothesis. Hypothesis is something that's going to be up and coming. That based off of the research, if I put in this, I get out that, for example, what it is a prediction for what's, potentially going to be in the future, leading to experiment. A claim is just a statement based off of your research that you know very, very well, that you got from good sources, probably, that you can say that that is good, valid information, that is true. So that's what a claim is. So, statement based off of collected research. So you don't need to define any of these, you just need to know what these mean and the difference between them. I will have them up here. Okay? So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be, preferably, what I would do is, I would have a notebook or another Google document open as you're going through the different sources, as you're going to be looking this up and finding information, that you take notes, because you're not going to know what your claim sentences are going to be until you're sure that you have put in and done the research that you know what they're going to be. So you're going to be taking notes that are probably going to be, put into your claims. So the notes is just the research notes that you come across. The claims is off of those research notes, based off of the research, as we know. So I would definitely do that. It's definitely the right thing and the most beneficial thing to do. It just makes sense. So then develop the claims, list them out in either bullet points or numbers, and that picture that you all took, that you should have taken while finding your phenomenon, then I will have to bring somebody else in here that knows technology better than I do. But that picture is going to be needing to be put into your computer, saved to your Drive or your Google Images, put into the Google document, because that's going to go either above or below your claims that you're going to be stating. And then up at the top, put down, the phenomenon. And then just basically into Google, put the phenomenon. So, it's what you see. Then you pose a question, then you find out more while you're there, and then you go in to collect the research. You make claims about the data that you collected from the research, or just the research itself. This is going to be data from the research. Hypothesize something, set up an experiment, then draw the conclusions, collect the data, and things change. You can absorb it again and try not to be biased about it. Absorb it again and keep testing and keep hypothesizing and changing it and adding things to it and taking things away from it. It will never ever stop. So, this is what I want all of you to do now. Okay? And then once you're done with that, I want to have a little chat with my American Lit and English Lit individuals. Okay? So, everybody, you can get to it. Open up your computers, get out your phones for that purpose only, and let me know if you have any questions, okay, about anything. Alright, and I will be around to assist you for whatever it is that you need. Maybe save for the technology, putting the picture in part. Okay, I'm going to be stopping the recording until everybody is done. I'm going to be let's see, about 20 to 25 minutes to get this done. For those of you who do not get this done, then I want it shared by me probably tomorrow at about, I'd say 10:50. I'd say tomorrow morning. Okay, and then once you're done, I'll give you that amount of time, and then I'll go over things with my classes, and I will let you all free. Okay, so everybody, get to it. Okay, so everybody should be done now. What I'm going to be having is all of the individuals, all of the people not in my American Lit Clubus. All of you need to exit, okay? And then when the English Lit Clubus is ready, all of those people will be coming in here so that I can talk to them about what's going to be going on. Okay, so that's how it's going to be. Adios. Okay, now I want to first talk about the old man and the sea, most importantly. So, everybody, excuse me. Now, you have something that I should have given you at the very, very beginning of the week, and it's going to be seeming very, very silly that I am giving you this to do by next Wednesday, I'd say. So this needs to be done by this coming Wednesday. So that would be September 23rd. First official day for Libra season is September 23rd. When you wake up that day, you will probably feel a shift of energy. Sun will be in Libra. Mark me. And if the sun's in Virgo, if the horoscope says September 22nd, 23rd, then you can forget about that. Sun will be in Virgo September 22nd, and then on the 23rd, we'll move right into Libra. So, anyway, let's see here. Okay, so, as I was saying, you're probably going to be thinking to yourself, now why didn't I give you this at the very, very beginning of the reading of this book so that you can fill it out as you're reading, as your little note, taking notes, journal. Because the big thing that we're paying attention to is the traits and the characteristics of a code hero and what it means to live by a code with, your work set for life that I already talked about. But this is a little different. And, I just want to go over all of those code hero traits for you up on the board so that you can see. Okay? I might just get rid of this. So, it's going to be a document called Santiago Code Hero. Okay, and it's going to be a chart where it's going to be having all of the Code Hero, the characteristics listed over to the left-hand column. Middle column is going to be the example from the book. It can either be a quote or just a summary of a specific scene in the book that represents that code hero. I'm not going to really analyze it and explain it. We're just going to basically summarize what that is.